everyone doing? So, Strength Chat episode 36, and I've got another very special guest for you. Today, I am joined by Mark Macqueen, 4 times British champion, so 3 times as a junior, and recently won the British Championships this year, as well as having a really good year in 2017, World Champion, European Champion, and Commonwealth Champion. How are you doing, Mark?
Yeah, I'm brilliant. Thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, no worries. So, an absolute incredible performance at the British. How are you feeling after it?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. Feeling really positive. And yeah, just feeling really pleased, that everything came to fruition after the year, since pretty much since Worlds last year. Despite, coming away with the gold medal at the Commonwealths and whatnot, at competitions, I'd had disappointing competition after disappointing competition, and each competition had been disappointing for different reasons. So, like for example, the Commonwealths, my performance actually wasn't that bad, but I made a mistake with my water loading and water cut. It just didn't go as planned, and I ended up having to cut. I think I woke up the morning of the competition at like 124.7, so I had 4.7 kilos to lose the morning of the competition, and I managed to lose it. But next I think my performance, and was just a silly amateurish mistake that shouldn't have happened. Yeah, and then just at other competitions I just made mistakes after making a mistake, which left me with a really bad feeling and something I wasn't really happy about, because one thing that I've always been so good at is executing on the day. So basically since November last year, which was the British Championships, I've just kind of taken a step back from competing and just locked myself in the gym and just plotted and plotted and plotted. I turned down my invite to go to GB squads earlier on this year at being contention to go to Worlds as a senior. And the reason I did that was because I've obviously moved up a weight class and moved into seniors, and I wanted a good year. So it's good for that whole year to come to fruition and everything to be good in the day, and execution to be, what it should have been as well.
Yeah, seemed that that year's work, paid off on the platform at the British. What are your plans now? Because is it the Europeans that you'll be competing at soon?
Yes, so I got an email a couple of days ago, just basically saying that I've been invited to be back part of Team GB again. And the next competition is the European Championships in Lithuania in December. So that's the goal. And then next June I will have the World Championships, the Classic Open World Championships. So they're the 2 next goals.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So for anyone listening who doesn't really know your background, do you just want to have a little bit of chat about how you got into powerlifting, how long you've been doing it for, and sort of your journey to becoming, it culminated in becoming the 2017 world champion, and obviously you chatted a little bit about the year that you took off to then win the British. How did you sort of get involved and progress to the level that you're at now?
Yeah, cool. So basically, when I was 16, I did football and boxing, and when I was playing football, I tore my ACL, which is your anterior cruciate ligament, a full rupture, and as a result of that, I couldn't, go out and play with my friends. Couldn't go, because at that age, they always went out and played football or did something like that. I couldn't go out and play with them. I couldn't do sports. I couldn't do very much. And it was over the summer as well, which was rubbish. So I just kind of locked in my house, not able to do anything, feeling sorry for myself, really upset. And I also couldn't do football or boxing, which was 2 things that I loved the most. And I was really upset, I was really disappointed. And then I got my surgery at the end of the summer. And as part of my surgery plan, my rehab plan from the surgery, from the physio, I was to go into the gym and do some weights, to strengthen the area around my knee, the muscles around my knee. And obviously a lot of muscle atrophy comes as well from surgery.
Yeah.
So, went into the gym, and it was, it was the only actual form of exercise I could do as well in my rehab. So I found myself going into the gym, you know, on the even you know on the days I didn't need to do rehab, or I found myself going to the gym and doing, you know, more weights than I needed to, and I just really loved it. And kind of, you know, I'm a very all or nothing person. You know, I either do something completely, or I don't really tend to do it at all. So
Right.
I kind of got hooked. Went on the internet, did lots of research and kind of, you know, how to get bigger, how to get stronger. You know, watch YouTube channels, stuff like that. And I came across a guy called Pete Rubish, and you know, I was, you know, he was just basically this, you know, relatively young guy who trained in his mum and dad's basement, with a washer and a dryer behind him. He was just stupidly strong. He did powerlifting. So I just kind of decided, you know, I want to do that. I want to be like that. So I signed myself for my first powerlifting competition and trained for it, and actually did pretty well considering, and was just hooked and just, you know, just kept going, and then everything's just kind of snowballed, you know.
Yeah.
That my first competition was in 2014. It was an Open Scottish Championships in the BDFPA, which I won, and then I went into British Powerlifting, which is the affiliation for IPF, and did a competition in the April 2016, I think it was, and I did well on hindsight, but at the time I was really disappointed because I felt like I could have done more. And then I moved up a weight class, and then I'd already hit the qualifying total for the British, so I went to the British, and won that, and then got to go to the Euros and the Worlds in 2016, and I took the silver medal in the European Championships overall, and then at the World Championships I took fifth overall, and I got a bronze medal in the squat. And then I went to the British later on that year again and won that, got part of the injury again. And then that's when everything kind of came together in 2017 when I won the European Championships, the World Championships, and also the Commonwealth Championships.
Do you think it was, because obviously 2017, you know, a really good year. Do you think when you, in the 2016, getting sort of coming fifth in the world, when did you start taking it a little bit more seriously, or was it still for enjoyment? Or
no, I don't think I took it any more seriously. I mean, in 2016, you know, it was, you know, incredibly serious to me. It was, you know, it meant everything, you know, meant absolutely everything to me. I think a few things, you know. I think, you know, by 2016, that was only my what, one, two, three. I was, you know, Worlds was only my fifth competition, you know. And you know, I had an absolutely amazing day at Worlds 2016. You know, I went 9 for 9. I became the first British junior to squat 700 pounds raw, and I had a PB in every lift, a PB in total. You know, it was, you know, the best performance of my life without a doubt, and it was a great performance. I just wasn't as good enough as the people that were in front of me. They were just, you know, there was nothing more I could have done. They were just better. But you know, I think, you know, I think the difference between 2016 and 2017 was, well, obviously there was an extra year. You know, and with there being an extra year, you have an ability to get, you know, a lot better. I put on some body weight because I had some body weight to put on, and as well, I think I just got much smarter with things. You know, I don't think I necessarily tried any harder, because I don't think I could have tried harder. But I think things got smarter. My training got a little bit smarter. I started seeing like a sports therapist, started seeing an osteopath. You know, my recovery work improved, my recovery methods improved, and just generally taking advice from, you know, the people that were, you know, were in the position that I wanted to be in, which was first place, kind of what they do, and just implementing that. So I think it's a case of there was no more effort involved. It was just a much smarter approach to everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, everything around it was a little bit more organised and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So you mentioned there about mentioned before about if you do something, you either good at it or you drop off a little bit, and you know, being a little bit smarter around your training. What's your motivation to keep getting better? What's your mindset? Because I know, you know, watching you at the British, you were really focused, really well. really calm, and then when it came to lifting on the platform, sort of your motivation, your mindset changed. What keeps you ticking over? What keeps you keeping at it and keep going?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a few things. I mean, first and foremost, I generally just, absolutely love it. I really, really, really love powerlifting. I really love training. And it's just, it's kind of, it's, it's, since I was, 16, 17, it's one of the only things that's stayed consistent in my life. And it's always been there. And in many ways, it's been a coping mechanism for so many things. And and I absolutely love it. So, that's one side to the thing. The next is kind of realizing that, no matter what I do in powerlifting, there's always more to do. Nothing actually matters that much. No one competition is the pinnacle of what I want to do, for example. There's always more to do. So everything that I do, regardless of how grandiose or how good it is, it's just a positive step in the right direction, if that makes sense. And there's always more to do. So, for example, and it's taken me, a good year to kind of realise this. But Worlds last year, Worlds last year wasn't really a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Me winning the World Championships in that IPF was amazing and brilliant and was my dream. But it wasn't the be all and end all. It was to me it was a step in the right direction and more shows my shows potential of what I'm capable of doing in the future, instead of it being the defining moment. And thirdly, I mean, my ultimate goal is honestly just to kind of be the absolute biggest and strongest that I can be. So I think that's good as well, because again, there's not necessarily a defining moment, because how will you ever know if you're the biggest and strongest you've ever been? You could always do a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Always pushing, pushing those boundaries, and making them go a little bit further, and using, like you said there, using the IPF as a stepping stone to then go on and win another world, and then increase more weight and that sort of stuff. Just on about sort of your mindset. So how do you mentioned about sort of you spent a whole year sort of plotting and building towards that British. Are you usually quite calm and collected when you train, or do you get sort of like the final deadlift that you pulled? Obviously, you got yourself worked up, ready for that lift. Do you sort of save that to the platform, or?
Yeah, I mean, I would say for the most part, I'm very calm and collected. I would say, and it's like, these past 2 weeks have been 2 washout weeks, which in a nutshell is basically just kind of lower specificity, both with movement selection and also rep range. So, I've instead of doing competition squats this week, I've been doing high bar squats for sets of 10, for example. So, I mean, any variation in the slightest, there's absolutely no hype in it, no amped up at all. So even for example, my last developmental block against the British Championships, I had on my second day a 3 count pause bench press. So I think I got that 3 count pause bench press up to 185 kilos for a single RP8 or RP 7.5, and that's still like a 185 for a 3 count pause at RP8. That's still a definite. That was a really good press for me. But yeah, there's no amped up. It's just complete focus, complete calm. And then in my developmental block, the last one I had, on a Monday, I had a competition squat single at 8, and then I had a 2x2 at 90% based off of the RP8. So there's definitely getting amped up for that. On the squat, and also the deadlift is the same, and also getting amped up for the bench single. But I think my amped up is probably still pretty calm, relatively calm in the grand scheme of things. You know, like that last deadlift, like, you know, that was like the most hyped I've been, you know, like this year entirely, you know. I mean, even like my squat and even the competition and specifically my bench, you know, I would say were very calm. And the kind of the reason for it is you know, I used to be an incredibly kind of hyped up lifter, and you know, used to, you know, get really emotionally involved and really angry, and you know, smell smelling salts to slap myself or you know, stuff like that. And I'm not necessarily against it for lifters, because what works for people is what works, but I'm not for it. And the reason I'm not for it is because, you know, the attitude I have with things is I personally I'm never attempting a weight that I don't have the right to attempt. And everything I am attempting, I have the right to attempt. I've earned the right to attempt it. And the reason I've earned the right to attempt it is from my training. You know, my training has indicated that I have earned the right to attempt this weight. So, you know, I'm not going out to do anything I can't do. And if I'm not getting that hyped up in training, which I'm not, if I'm, you know, like, don't get me wrong, like, also before a heavy squat, like, you know, you get your head on, you know, a wee shout, you know, just to really screw yourself in, really get yourself mentally prepared. But there's a difference between mentally prepared and, you know, getting really, really, really hyped.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that because I'm going for stuff that I'm capable of doing based off of training, and I'm not that hyped in training, then what is the need to get hyped in the competition to do it? You know, I feel that the more hype somebody gets for a lift, the more possibility they have of missing that lift. And the reason for that is just because it's almost like they're trying to find something from within that they don't normally have to overcome this obstacle or this weight. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm literally just trying to hit, hit a lift that I've earned the right to do and that I can do. I don't need to draw strength from anywhere else apart from just myself. And, you know, as long as I'm mentally focused, mentally prepared, and I'm, you know, got my nervous system ready and firing, and I'm mentally firing, then, you know, that's all that's necessary. And I kind of keep that true for squats and bench, very much bench. You know, bench I don't really tend to get hyped even. You know, I mean, obviously you would have seen the British Championships even the slightest.
Yeah.
And then deadlifts, you know, I try and stay really, really calm my first, my second attempt, and then my third attempt, you know, I kind of leave it on the platform and go for it. But I find deadlifts, you know, are technically, you know, kind of the easiest for me in the sense that I don't tend to really ever make mistakes, and I find that getting height doesn't alter my execution of the lift like it could in squats and bench, so I can kind of get away with it as well. And on top of that, you know, if I get really, really hyped on a squat or really, really hyped on a bench, you know, I've got 6 or 3 lifts left, so then I might, you know, empty my tank.
Yeah.
But in my last deadlift, I've got nothing left, so even if I did empty my tank, it doesn't matter because that's a competition over anyway.
Yeah, I think like what you're saying about being a little bit smarter on how you're lifting, because obviously saying, you know, technically really good with a deadlift. If you do hype yourself up, you might lose something. You might not lock your knees out. You might something might go wrong. And you know what you're saying about using a competition as a stepping stone to then progress better. You might just blow yourself out. You might end up taking a little bit longer to recover between competitions. Whereas if you know, yeah, training's gone well, I can hit that, then you can build towards the next competition and the next weight that you want to hit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you're chatting there, obviously, about, you know, some people, depending on what they want to do and how it suits them, getting hyped up. How did you transition from becoming just a lifter, wanting to compete, to then coaching other people and writing programs for them and that sort of stuff? How did that come about?
Yes, I mean, since I've left school, so since I've been 17, I was self-employed. I was a personal trainer in gyms, and you know that's what I wanted to do. You know, so I wanted to be a personal trainer. You know, kind of at the same time that I wanted to kind of do powerlifting. You know,
Yeah.
So as soon as I left school, and this was before I was a powerlifter, I got accepted into, I think it was two universities, or was it? It was 2 or 3 universities. I turned them down, and I did my level 2, my level 3 personal training course because I wanted to be a personal trainer. So I did that, and then I got a job in a private studio, and I did that for like 2.5 years, something like that. And I just didn't want to personal train your kind of average Joe in the gym anymore. I honestly I just didn't really. Just didn't really enjoy it a whole lot. And it wasn't that I didn't enjoy training the regular person. It was I didn't enjoy training people that just didn't want to be there. You know, like if so, I mean, I don't. It doesn't bother me training somebody going for a world title, or me training somebody who is training to just get fitter and lose weight. I don't necessarily have a preference as long as both of them absolutely love what they're doing and are really, really working hard. I really enjoy passion. I love passion within people. I could listen to almost anything, regardless of what it is, if somebody's really passionate. I think someone being passionate about something it's very rare these days. People don't really tend to be passionate about stuff, unless it's like booze or or birds,
I think some people are easy to commit to something for a little bit and then not really give it a go. Like so I'm a PT myself. I run a powerlifting club. There's only been one or two that have competed. They just want to get involved in doing some strength training, and seeing them dive in and get involved with it is really good to see. Mondays and Thursdays they're always lifting. And it's nice to see that they want to get involved in it. Hopefully, they'll build up to, because they are competing. But hopefully it'll lead to them competing, and it'll, keep them involved in it.
Yeah, definitely. So it's not that I didn't want to train the regular person anymore. That wasn't it. I was sick of. I didn't want to train people that just didn't want to be there anymore. And I could honestly people wouldn't believe. I mean, obviously you probably would, but people wouldn't believe the amount of people that I sit down with a guy in his consultation after buying 20 sessions, for example. So why do you want to be here? And he's like, I don't. My wife's making me. And it's like, genuinely, the amount of times I heard that or stuff like that, and so I kind of at that point I started doing my powerlifting, and I thought, I'm gonna post stuff on YouTube. I want to post stuff on YouTube. I want to coach. I want to coach powerlifters, and I want to coach athletes, and I want to just coach people in general. I want to coach people in strength training who want to be coached. I don't care if they're a powerlifter, if they're an athlete in our sport, or they're just somebody who really wants to get stronger. It doesn't bore me. See, as long as they want to do it and they enjoy it, I'd absolutely love to help. So
good.
I thought, what's the best way for me to kind of do this? So, I thought, well, I'm going to need to get myself some form of a following. So I kind of started posting stuff on YouTube. So I started posting, competition footage, training footage, informative videos, just kind of, even did like a few kind of vlog stuff like that on YouTube. And I actually was really successful. I think I've got something. I mean, the past since World 2016, I've kind of not put very much effort into it. But I think in 2016, I had 4,000 subscribers, something like that. So I did really, really well. And I built kind of an online business out of that. Kind of since World 2016, I kind of took a step back and was kind of like, I'm kind of much more wanting to be an athlete than a YouTuber. And kind of as a result of that, my YouTube channel just kind of plateaued almost, and that's okay. That's okay. I mean, I still post now. I think the past year I've just kind of posted competition footage, PB, stuff like that. Because when I looked at all the top YouTubers and I looked at the top athletes, they were completely different. No top YouTuber was a top athlete, and no top athlete was a top YouTuber. And the way I look at things is like success leaves clues, and then I want to be a top athlete, so that's what I pursued, and obviously YouTube kind of suffered as a result.
And as well, if you've got that base of clients, there's no need to keep doing the YouTube, because you need to concentrate on your training and your coaching.
Yeah. I mean, of course, and obviously, I'm very, very, very fortunate with my online business. I still coach one person in person who's been with me since I was like 17 years old,
Yeah.
which is awesome. I absolutely love training Barry. But I mean, everyone else is online. I'm in a very, very fortunate position where my online business is doing so well. I'm really grateful, really fortunate. And but yeah, like ironically, like my Instagram is doing really, really well. Because obviously Instagram is like kind of favors athletes more than YouTubers because
Yeah.
in Instagram you can't necessarily get a personality across a whole lot. It's more just kind of posting a video or a photo, and people are more drawn to someone squatting 365 kilos, for example, than they are somebody squatting 200 kilos with a great personality. But in YouTube, it's the complete opposite. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and now my Instagram's completely overtaken my what my YouTube channel was, and I get all and luckily now all of my kind of audience and clientele come from Instagram now. But I mean, I've been telling myself for like the past year and a half, I'm going to start posting YouTube videos again, not to like, oh, I want to start doing YouTube again, because I mean I'm not bored about being being a YouTuber or anything like that,
Yeah.
but just posting videos again, because I actually really enjoyed it, and just posting some informative content that'll help people.
I think Instagram's become a little bit of a monster, really. It's become one of those things where people either try and show off a little bit and try and get more followings, or it can actually be used as a training diary. If people you're coaching have a look at technique, and you can give feedback on there, especially if you're training a number of clients. It'll be a bit easier for you to be like, right, okay, so I've been tagged in this, I'm training this person, you can have a look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I love Instagram.
Yeah.
I really, really like Instagram. Yeah, I really enjoy kind of.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the way that I can follow people. It's just so straightforward, and then I really like Instagram. I'm not really I used to watch YouTube all the time. I used to watch hours of YouTube. But yeah, I mean, I don't really watch anything on YouTube anymore. I think it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's a dying platform, that's a completely incorrect statement to use, but I don't think it was what it once was.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like I say, I think Instagram's become a little bit of a monster now. So in terms of your online coaching, and you've mentioned it throughout this chat, being a little bit smarter about things, looking a little bit more into your recovery and that sort of stuff. You track quite a lot of things for your coaching. What's your reasoning behind that, and why do you track certain things?
Track as in like recovery methods, things like that. So basically I kind of like to look at what variables are within our control that will improve our performance. So if we look kind of a few standard things, so like first and foremost, like a variable that's completely within our control that affects our performance is nutrition. A surplus will always be better for performance than maintenance or a deficit. Now that doesn't mean that somebody needs to be a surplus, because for example, if they are a weight class lifter, and you don't want them to stray too far away. So first and foremost, nutrition. You would want to get nutrition under control. I would then say next, that's closely tied in with that is water intake. You want to making sure you're getting enough water intake, but also not too much. So many people drink like obscene amounts of water. Like I've heard people like 6, 7, 8 liters of water, and and they're basically eating water all day, and that's not necessarily necessary either. I think there's definitely a happy medium. I think a funny thing I saw was protein and water intake. Your average human doesn't eat enough protein or drink enough water, and your average fitness goer eats too much protein and drinks too much water. So I think those are two things. The next thing, supplementation. Again, I keep it very, very simple. Supplementation. I don't really include like whey protein as a supplement, even though it kind of, I suppose, is, you know, and then, so that's the kind of nutrition side taken care of. So, you know, make sure you've got your, you know, your food intake, whether you're in a surplus, deficit, maintenance, and again, you know, obviously I'm an advocate of flexible dieting, but ultimately I think, you know, like protein sources, I think having good quality protein sources is always going to be better than not, you know, you know, you know, your amino acid profiling, stuff like that. And then after that, you know, the next variable is obviously your training. You know, that's a massive variable you've got control over. You want to have your training in track, and then recovery methods. What's your mobility work? Look at, you know, just certain things variables out for us, like mobility work. Are you getting treatments? So if you get a sports massage or like an osteopath appointment, then from there, you know, I would advocate almost everybody on the planet doing the McGill Big Three, the McGill Big Three back exercises. You know, then like you know, hot cold treatments, like contrast showers in the, you know, in the shower, obviously. So, you know, if you have the luxury of having hot and cold tubs, then awesome. If not, a shower is a good alternative. Or you go to a spa. A lot of spas have, you know, hot cold facilities, and then from there, sleep. You know, which is probably one of the most important things. You know, are you able to 8 hours a night of sleep a day? Are you able to catch a nap during the day? You know, these are, you know, just kind of the certain variables that I look to control within, you know, myself.
It's funny you're saying all of those. You know, only once did you mention training there. All the other things are essentially just looking after your body, so you can lift the weight. I know sometimes I had, just when you were chatting about when people are coming in for personal training. Someone came in and asked me to teach them to be stronger. You sit down and it's like, right, well, how is your sleep? How is your nutrition? Oh, do I not just put more weight on the bar? No, that's not always the case. You know, there's other things.
Well, like the thing is like I think about the way I kind of think things is like, it's about preparing for the session, if that makes sense. So like, so you know, it's like, for example, my training days are a Monday and a Tuesday, and then a Thursday and a Friday. So with it being in those days, you know, so for example, on a Monday morning I'd wake up, and it's about preparing for my set, because that's my competition squat, that's my competition bench, you know, and through the whole developmental block it was a single at 8, and then a back off 2x2. So, you know, like my last week before the British, I had a 350 squat RPA, and then a 337, I think it was a 337.5 or it was a 340 squat for 2 sets of 2. And then I had a 200 kilo bench at 8, and then I had a 190 triple, and then I had a 180 for 3x3, and I had some incline bench. So it's like when I wake up, as soon as I get up on Monday, it's like I need to prepare for this session. So it's like an example of what. So I would get up, I would have a gainer shake, or the Maximum Muscle Pro Gain shake, which is, it's only like 650 calories, so it's actually not that much, right? You know, so I'd have a Maximum Muscle Pro Gain shake with water. I'd have like 3/4 of a litre of water in it, and I'd have 2 Lucozades. And then what I would do, I would have my next meal. I would have a steak. I'd have 2 yogurts, and I'd have a half litre of orange juice. And then my next meal, I would have from my sponsors. So I've got a food prep company that sponsors me called Prepco Scotland. I would have chicken. And it's always marinating with different sauces. I'd have white rice, and I'd have broccoli, and then I'd have a protein yogurt. So now the wee yogurts that you get, that have 20 grams of protein in them, I'd have one of them. And then what I would do is I would have a contrast shower. So I'd have a contrast shower, and so I'd basically 4 minutes as hot as I can handle, 75 seconds as cold as I can handle. And then what I would do is I'd take the shower head and hold it over each hip and then each pec and shoulder area, and I would do a minute and a half in each area, and then a minute cold, and then I would go for a nap. So then I'd go for I just go for a nap. I would always use, because I'm not really that tired, if I'm being honest at that stage. But I would always be able to, I'm good at falling asleep. So I'd wake up within 15 to 30, 35 minutes usually about 15. So I'd wake up and then I would have, I'd pack my gym bag, pack my food bag, pack my single, all that, put it in my car, come back in, get ready, get my shoes on, drink my Monster, have a packet of sweets, drink a BCA shake. It's got creatine, citrulline, malate in it. Drive to the gym, and then be at the gym for like ideally 6:30, usually 7 because I'm always half an hour late. And then I wouldn't leave that gym, mate, till 1 o'clock in the morning. Like literally, like if I'm there at 6:30, 7, I'll leave at 1. Literally, like I'll finish training at probably, if I start at 7 o'clock, I reckon I would finish training probably 12, 12:15, and then I would do like 45 minutes recovery work till 1 o'clock, and then I would go in, have a shower, pack my bag, get everything in my car, and then it'd take me half an hour to drive home. And during the session, I'm having a BCA shake, a banana, some peanut butter. I'm having a Snickers bar. On my way home, I would have a medium vanilla milkshake from McDonald's.
So your prep for that takes a full day. So you've covered all bases there to make sure that you can get the best quality session that you.
Then, the thing is, as soon as I finish training, the next day I've got a single at 8 on deadlifts, and I've got to start preparing for that. So then it's an hour of recovery work. You know what I mean? To make sure that I'm as physically healthy as possible. Yeah. And then it's like go home, drink a milkshake, go home, have a steak. I'd have a steak, I'd have a few Weetabix with some sugar, and I'd have orange juice, and I'd go to bed, sleep 8 hours, get up, and then do the exact same thing again. And then on Wednesday, it's the day off of training. So then it's like I need to get as healthy as not as healthy as possible, because I'm last prep, I didn't have any injuries, but I need to take advantage of this day as much as possible for these next 2 days. So it's like, I've got a sports massage. I'm doing everything. I'm going to walk. I'm doing everything. I'm preparing as well as I can. And then I've got Thursday and Friday, which is my kind of variation days, like pause squats, close grip bench, wide grip bench, pause deadlifts, stiff legged deadlifts, pin press are kind of moves I do those days. And then it's like, as soon as I finish Friday night, I've now got all of Friday night, all of Saturday, all of Sunday to prepare for Monday. So then it's like, literally, as soon as I finish my training session, I'm just trying to prepare as well as I can for Monday's session, So actually, if you think about it, it's like it's the gym sessions aren't actually what I'm, so worried about, because when I'm there, it's just taking care of business. Mm-hmm. But what I'm worried about and what I'm really trying to focus on is actually out with the gym, preparing for being in the gym. And it just takes so much time, and obviously that's not including obviously my business as well. So during the day, like as soon as I get up, I'm on the computer, answer all my emails, go on my phone, speak to everybody on WhatsApp, check my diary, whatever video calls I've got, and it's like it's full stop on all the time. But I absolutely love it, and I'm really fortunate because it's online. It's like I just work from home in my office, in my computer room, and it's stress. It's not stress free, because obviously I'm very invested in the people that I work with, and if they've got competitions coming up, it's obviously got plans for big competitions, and even if I've not got a competition, just them doing better. So it's not stress free, but it allows me to stay at home and I can eat when I want, and
absolutely. With that, obviously you mentioned about you're preparing for that training, so you're confident in what you'll be able to do in training. Do you think that if anything that you miss, say you miss a meal or you miss doing a little bit of recovery or anything like that, do you think that has a bigger effect on your training, or how does that work with the recovery?
Well, since my current coach, Jim Eli from Reactive Training Systems, me and him started working together at the end of April, so just at the beginning of May. So since May, Everything I mentioned, I've not missed anything once. You know, so literally every single meal, water, supplements, workout. On a non-training day, I go a walk, recovery work, back exercises, contrast shower, hot cold treatment, a nap during the day, also have appointment sports beside. Not one thing has been missed.
Right.
And you know the reason for that is that there's and you know, and for the lifestyle I live, there's no excuse to be missing anything. You know, I mean, I have set my life up so that I can be a full-time athlete. You know, obviously I run a full-time business alongside that, but my full-time business, again, I'm so fortunate that it allows me to lead being a full-time athlete, you know, and my goal is not only to be a full-time athlete, to be the best full-time athlete that I can be. And I mean, I think the thing is that I think, again, one of the reasons that, for example, the British went so well for me, and it was pretty much for my ability, it was a flawless day from the beginning to the end. You know, obviously, you know, for some people that could have been a terrible day, you know, because they're, you know, much stronger, and that's okay. You know, I'll get there one day. But for me, that was a flawless performance, and I couldn't have done any better.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. You know, with the current ability that I have, I couldn't have done any better. And the reason that happened is because, you know, for example, since May, that's May, June, July, August, you know, that's literally the best time. Within 18 weeks, I haven't missed anything whatsoever. And I think that's why everything kind of came to fruition in the day. I think if I did miss something, then realistically speaking, if you got everything absolutely on point all the time and you miss one thing one day, if you miss one meal one day, it's not going to affect anything. You know, it's like things are cumulative. You know, if you cumulatively do everything right for a long time and then you do one thing wrong, that's not going to undo all the work you've done for a long time. And if you cumulatively do something really wrong for a long time and then do something good once, that's not going to undo all the things you've done wrong. You know, like if somebody's trying to lose weight and they're over their calories every day for a month, but then have one day where they've eaten nothing, they're still going to be in a worse off position than if they, for example, hit their calories perfect for a month and then one day ate way too many.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everything that you've said, covering all the bases. It's not gonna, if you get everything covered and you only miss one, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I think that was quite a good way of thinking about it. So, what would be your top tips or sort of words of wisdom to sort of take away from this chat?
So I mean, if somebody's not a competitive powerlifter, a competitive athlete, and they want to kind of get into fitness, like just start. Like there's never ever going to be a perfect time to start ever. Just start, regardless. You know, if you have the luxury, you can afford getting a personal trainer, that'd be very, very good. If not, you know, I'm pretty sure there's always going to be people that are willing to help. You know, gyms aren't as kind of scary as people maybe kind of play up in their mind. People aren't as nasty as people maybe play up in their mind. You know, I would be more than happy to help anybody in the gym. You know, regardless. You know, as long as I'm not going for a top single, I'd be available. You know.
Yeah.
And even if I was going for a top single, I'd be available after it. You know, I'd happily help anybody do anything, regardless of what position they were in, whether it be a learner or a world champion.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just start, ask for advice, and do things that you enjoy. You know, like if you, there's always a more optimal thing to do. I mean, that's a fact. But just because something's the most optimal thing to do is actually just doing anything at all to get started. Once you then get started, then you can start fine tuning stuff. I mean, just do stuff you enjoy doing. You know, if you don't enjoy going to the gym and lifting weights, but you really enjoy going to spin classes or circuit classes or something like that in the gym, do it. You know, something's better than nothing. And you know, find stuff that you enjoy. And then if you're a competitive athlete, if you're a competitive powerlifter, I mean, I think get yourself a coach, definitely. If you can't afford it, you know, get a second job, budget better, you know, find a way, you know. I mean, in my experience, a lot of even the best online coaches really are very inexpensive. You know, like probably what people spend in a weekend in booze, you know what I mean? Probably less. Get yourself a coach, get yourself a goal, get yourself a competition. Allow yourself to enjoy the sport. Don't go into federations or chase records that in the grand scheme of things don't actually mean that much. Instead, you know, pick the best federation, pick the most competitive federation and go into it. Don't stray away from competition. Don't hold yourself to a weight class if you're a beginner or an intermediate. And the only time I think somebody should hold themselves to a weight class is when they're trying to be picked for an international selection or they're actually going for a world title. See, if not, get yourself a surplus, allow yourself to gain weight, allow yourself to build muscle, and you know, grow into the sport. You know, weight classes are height classes in disguise. You know, for example, if you're 6 foot tall, you probably have no business being in any class but the 120 kilo class or above. You know, and yeah, so like literally bullet points: get a coach, get a goal, compete in the most competitive federation. Don't hold yourself to weight class. Allow yourself to enjoy the sport itself, and constantly look to improve variables that you have control over.
It made me laugh. The quote of the chat is, that's how much importance it should be to get a coach, get a second job, afford a second coach. I
mean, it's like, I mean, that's what I did, you know, like when I was younger, when I was 18, you know, I was making enough from online business. In 19 and 20, I was making enough from online business to, you know, kind of stay afloat, but I didn't have enough to like pay for a coach or to get a sport massage once a week or buy a little bit more food. So I got a second job. You know, I was working doors as a bouncer in Glasgow on a Friday night and a Saturday night, and then also when I was 18, 19 on a Sunday as well. And then obviously I got older, didn't need the money as much. I took away the Sunday, but still, I mean, it's not a very nice job. Specifically in Glasgow, it's, you know, there's a lot of kind of not so great moments that come with being that job, but you know, it served a purpose, you know. And I mean, there's nothing special about me at all. If I can get a second job to afford it, anybody can.
Yeah, absolutely. I've really enjoyed that chat. I thought it was really, really good. A lot of things that you've said, makes a lot of sense. And I hope everyone listening enjoyed that as well. For anyone watching who might want to get involved in training with you or might have any questions for you, where can they find you and chat with you?
Just, you know, best place to probably find me is Instagram. Just type my name into Instagram, so it's MarkMacQueen, so Mark Macqueen. My actual Instagram handle, I think, is Mark Macqueen 2, all one word. And then on there, you know, you can find everything. You can find my YouTube channel. You can find my email. You know, you just click the use email button if you want to get in contact with me. And I respond to everybody always on Instagram. So your best place to find me is Instagram, and then also my email, which is just markmcqueencoaching@yahoo.co.uk.
Right, spot on. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me, and I'll see everyone listening next week.
Thank you.